What a beautiful way to welcome in this day. And thank you to Steve and Michelle Chronister for the gifting of that bowl to our community. We are love and we are loved. So welcome. Welcome all to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. In Unity, we begin everything with prayer. And so today, Diane Silver will lead us in a prayer as we take a centering breath to hear her words.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's been a heck of a couple of weeks. So I ask you all to join me in prayer. Take a centering breath to open to the presence of the divine within and the divine outside of you. This morning we pray with power and presence to send love and healing to the people of Buffalo, New York, and Uvalde, Texas, to all the people who are lost, to all their families, to all their friends, to all the people around this nation and this world who feel like these events touch them personally. We send healing, we send peace, we send love, and we send wisdom. Wisdom to know that who we think we are today is not who we are tomorrow. That who we think we are today is not who we actually are today. We know that we are a nation that loves each other, that cherishes its children and its great diversity of people. We cherish all people, and we fill them all with love, and we want them all to have peace. And we know, with the power of the divine, that we are creating in this moment, with our prayer and with our action, a nation that is safe for all, a nation of peace, a nation of love. We accept this in our hearts. We accept this in our minds. We know wisdom fills us. We know it fills our leaders. We know that we move this world with our prayers and our actions, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Diane. And our prayer chaplains are here after the service to hold sacred space for any and all who would need or appreciate that extra service. So thank you for saying a chaplain if you are so called. And now we are also a congregation of singing. So let us join Holly in singing, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up.
All right, let's stand together. If you feel like doing a little bit of swaying, getting the movement going, we'll build it up to the chorus. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? To make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road. Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, lives and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, lives and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. One more time. I am the place where God lives, lives and breathes and has his being. I am
greet each other as I begin to. I need to do to take care of myself. Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone. There's nothing I have to do on my own, 'cause I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Feel that within you. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. One more time. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. And what a beautiful way God shows up. His, hers, theirs, ours. We are one, and we are blessed. So together, let us affirm unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our vision? United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our mission? We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And what better person to lead us today with her music than our special guest, Cindy Novello.
So wonderful to be here with you all. Always like coming home. Really lovely to see so many familiar faces and some new ones as well. So happy to be here. I'm going to sing a song by one of my favorite songwriters, India Arie. It's called Break the Shell.
I met a prophet, it's dark as the night. She could see into my soul. Said she'd been watching and had some advice. She said shadows make you whole. A life without pain is a wolf in sheep's clothes. If you listen to the lessons that it holds, you'll find the goal. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. I can remember when I was a child, how the grown folks seemed so crazy. Why are they so angry? Why are they so loud? And when I grow up, that's never gonna be me. That was the moment that I decide I would build a wall just shy of 6 feet tall, too strong to fall. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. Courage is not being hard. It's time to peel back all of the layers you put between who you're meant to be and who you are. And go be who you are. So much disappointment to finally understand that there's no such thing as perfect. We're all simply doing the best that we can. We have a choice to live or truly be alive. This is your life. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. A bird cannot touch the sky from inside itself. The bird cannot fly until it breaks the shell. You cannot fly until you break the shell.
Thank you, Cindy. Shells are such pretty things, but when they're broken, can be creating new mosaics that we hadn't even envisioned. What a perfect song for this day. And to follow, we are honored and blessed to have Stephanie Barton, RN, who's devoted to shining light in the world. In both personal and professional life, she strives to seek and find good, to speak and share hope, and to believe in the ever-presence of divine love. She has a thriving practice as a spiritualist, medium, and healer, is an author, Unity student, and proud mother of 3 amazing young people. She is honored to be a part of the community in Lawrence, and for more information, visit angelsinsight.com. Welcome, Reverend Stephanie.
Good morning. It's so good to be here with each of you today. And happy summer. This is the kickoff, right? Summer came in on a nice breeze. It's a little windy out there this morning. Well, we are going to talk about breaking a shell. So on May 1st of 2021, my life changed in a completely unexpected way. It was a Saturday, and it started off just like any typical Saturday would. I was busy doing chores and work and a few more chores and a little bit more work, and I had some trips coming up that I needed to plan, and my hands were actually quite full with a lot of the hustle and bustle of everyday life when I got the call. For years, my children and I have worked with a local bird rescue. We've adopted several abandoned birds and taken them in, and have such a soft spot in my heart for the birds. But this particular call came from the doctor at the shelter, and she said, "We need your help. We're understaffed, and 5 baby birds have been dumped. We wondered if you would take them in and care for them. We were hoping you could serve." I was busy. And these were just 5 baby birds. And I knew that if I took those baby birds in, that wouldn't give me the power to change nations. It wouldn't make a difference on a global scale. But I had been called to serve. Charles Fillmore says, "The value of service lies in the spirit in which you serve, and not in the importance or the magnitude of the service. Even the lowliest task or deed is made holy, joyous, and prosperous when it is filled with love." And so I decided, since I had been called to serve, that I would say yes. And that I would help these baby birds in whatever way I could with the spirit of love. So I shifted my schedule around, and I kind of finished up the tasks that I was doing, and I headed, not knowing what was waiting for me, not knowing what kind of birds they were. Really, I was stepping into the unknown. And as I was greeted at the door of the shelter, this is what awaited me. They had broken the shell. 5 baby starlings. So I looked at these birds, and I had the same first thought that you guys probably all did when you saw the slide. I thought, I behold the Christ in you. But I did. I saw these babies as little expressions of divine creation. And so to that end, we decided to name them Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Peter. I think they're pretty good names, very befitting of a starling. So we took them home, and the next few hours were filled with research and looking information up and trying to understand how on earth I would help these baby birds. And as I said, I knew nothing about starlings and really didn't know anyone else to turn to. I was on my own. Well, as it turns out, starlings are non-native to this country. They were brought from Europe in waves by boat in the 1870s to the 1890s. And apparently those starlings who came to America must have thought they were on Noah's Ark, because once they got here, they decided to be fruitful and multiply. And multiply and multiply. Now, the intention with bringing the starlings over was first to introduce a little bit more of the European flora and fauna to our country, but also starlings are appreciated in Europe because they are voracious insectivores. So you've probably seen one or two in your backyard probing and looking for bugs. Let me show you the next slide. Here they are. Oh, wait, go back to the one before. This is it. This is them when they're a little bit more feathery. Aren't they so cute? Now, the adult starlings may eat insects, but the babies don't. They don't eat worms, and they can't even drink water. Do you know what baby starlings love and need to eat every 30 minutes? Soaked cat chow. Soaked cat chow, mushed up in a disgusting little ball, dripping from the end of your finger, with a dash of applesauce to make it sweet. Yum! So I spent the next several weeks of my life soaking, stirring, mushing, dropping cat food every 30 minutes into their little beaks. And then cleaning it all up. Well, just as baby humans, as they get bigger, they need a few less feedings. So eventually the 30-minute feedings could be spread to hour-long feedings. And then after that, we could let them go about an hour and a half. But they grew, and they grew. So here's the next slide. That's Peter. He was always the troublemaker, screaming for food. But you see, as the baby birds grew, my anxiety did too. I was responsible for these birds. Their lives had been placed in my hands. My success was measured by their well-being out in the world. So I thought. But there were a few things that I couldn't teach those birds. The most important of which was how to fly. I don't have wings. So I thought about it. I decided I'm going to have a talk with these birds. I'm going to show them about arms. I'm going to stand in front of the cage and I'm going to wave. And I'm going to teach them how it is to fly. And then I realized, wait a second, there's not cat chow out in the world that's soaked in applesauce. How will they know what to eat? I need to tell them about bugs. Good bugs, bad bugs. Tasty bugs, gross bugs. But then I realized, I don't eat bugs. I won't know how to tell them that either. Predators. It's a very dangerous world out there for a baby bird. Birds, pay attention. I'm going to pretend to be a cat. What do? Now I'm a hawk. What happens? What if it rained? They would get wet. They've been in the cage in the safety of the house. How could I teach them these things? But as you know, I couldn't. I can't. I'm not supposed to. What I had to do was trust. To trust that the wisdom was within them to do everything that they needed to do, to find their wings, to soar, and to fly into this world. I had to trust. And maybe some would make it. I had to trust. And maybe some wouldn't. But I had to trust. They would know what to do. The divine wisdom was in them, just as it is in me and in you. So the babies grew and grew and grew, and I'll show you the next slide. I didn't want to let them go. They were sweet. But I had taken them with the agreement to raise and release them so they could be free as they were created to be. And there came a time when you can see in the cage what had been a very safe, a very protective place started to cause harm. You see, the bars of the cage were beginning to fray their wings. As they would walk around in the cage, their tails were starting to get mangled. They were getting grouchy. And worse, they were starting to pull on each other's wings and fight with one another. The cage wasn't safe. It had become a prison, and it was stunting and limiting their growth. And so I knew not only did I need to trust, but that it was time to let go. It was time. So we decided that the next morning we would take the cage outside, open the door, and just trust and let go. The morning came, we stepped outside, and I was scared, but I was excited. I was so sad, but I was happy. I was all these things all mixed up into one. But I trusted that even in spite of my human stuff, it was time. So we opened the door of the cage, and immediately, show you the next slide, one took to the skies, flew as high as you can imagine, and landed in the tree. Never looked back, that ungrateful little brat. It was the most amazing thing to watch. And I realized I could have talked to these birds and coached them until I was blue in the face. But they knew. The whole time, they knew. It was that spirit of love, that divine wisdom that was in them. They knew. But not every one of the little birds immediately took to the skies. And that's all right, too. On the next slide, you can see. Some of them kind of hung out in the cage for a little bit because the cage was familiar. The cage was predictable. The cage was what they'd become familiar with. It's what they knew. But in time, within just a few hours, each and every one of them had hopped, jumped, stretched, and then flew. Every last one knew exactly what to do. So I share this experience with you today because it's not just about baby birds. Sure, they break out of a shell. They change and they grow, and who they were when I got them was not who they were when I released them, and they're not who they are today either. This is our story. It's the story that we all experience and live as we find our way through this world. You see, just like starlings, we're non-native. This world It's not our true home. We come from spirit. That's our origin. That's our home. So we're sent to this world for a time with a job, a soul mission, a purpose. And along the way, we laugh and cry and struggle, triumph. We learn and we grow. And then comes the call. Something unexpected, uncertainty. Maybe the call is a diagnosis that you weren't expecting. Maybe the call is a loss of a job or a change in a relationship. Maybe the call is an inner knowing that something within you needs to change, but you're just not sure what. We all have those moments in life when we get that call. And in those moments, uncertainty may loom. When we get the call, there are no guarantees, no predictable outcomes. And sometimes there may not be an obvious path to find our way home. But you see, I believe that it is in those moments that we find our wings. When we are standing at the verge of the mystery, at the precipice of the unknown, that is the moment of spiritual transformation, when we feel, when we stretch, when we use those wings. But how? How do we use these wings? Well, the first step is just what I remembered and learned with those baby birds. The first step is that we trust. We trust when we receive the call that the one power, the one presence, God the good, the Spirit of love is always within us. And it is that Spirit that animates our wings, that shows us the way home, and will always, always see us through. We have to trust. Charles Fillmore said, "The mind of spirit will guide you in perfect ways, even in the minute details of your life, if you will let it do so." Trust. And how amazing is that? Sometimes I think as spiritual students, we think that we should only call when it's a big deal or for major life issues. I'll lean into spirit if I can't handle it on my own. But the truth is that divine mind, that ever-presence of love is ready, willing, and able to guide us in every area of our life when we trust. Now, trust doesn't mean that we sort of kind of trust if there's no other better options. Trust doesn't mean if conditions start to look favorable, then I'll kind of trust. Trust doesn't mean, Spirit, I'll trust if you guarantee I'll get what I want if I trust. That's not trust. Trust is the willingness we have to surrender all. To lay it all out for Spirit, to offer up our hearts, our minds, and our lives, and to say, I surrender all, and all is well. That's trust. And when we do that, we have the power to fly, to lift above the worldly circumstances, and to soar. Just because we trust, though, doesn't mean there's not going to be setbacks. Life has conflict, failure, disappointments, hurt. So trust and surrendering to Spirit doesn't give us a bypass from the opportunities that we have to learn and grow in this world. So when we find our wings, not only do we have to trust, but we have to let go. Just like the baby birds, we have to let go. Letting go perhaps means we have to let go of the desire or the need to please others. We've got to let go of feeling that we have to be approved of, or endorsed by, or meet the standards of the world. Letting go means sometimes we have to recognize the cage of familiarity has become a prison for our souls. And no matter how uncertain, no matter how scared we are, there comes that moment when we know we have to let go. But the beauty in letting go and the rightness of Spirit's ever-present love for us is that just like these baby birds, maybe letting go for you means immediately you take to the skies, you quit the job, you pack it up, and you move. But maybe letting go means you take a small step, and a small step, and another small step. You'll know how to let go when you trust Spirit, that innate wisdom, the timing, will always reveal to you. Trust and let go. So by the time that the season was done, in 2021, we were able to raise and release over 50 baby birds. It was a busy season. They all took flight, with the exception of one who had a broken leg, and she's our pet now. But that's all right. She needed to stay home. And you know what? They never wrote. They never even called. I let them go, and they were gone. Or so I thought. This year, we've had 33 babies so far. And we've released 25. I'd not seen a single one of those starlings all year. But when I put the cage outside to let this new flock get acclimated, guess what happened? The generation before returned to guide and to mentor and to connect with these new little birds who were preparing to fledge. They knew. The wisdom was within them. I was upset. Oh, you'll come back for them, but not for me. All that chow. But it has been a beautiful and incredible experience of seeing them care for one another, nurture one another, feed one another grubs. But to know that the wisdom guided them was a beautiful experience. Today, just before service, I got another call. So after the message, I'll follow up and see there may be number 34 joining the flock. But I'll tell you, these birds are more than just feathery creatures who break from a shell. They're divine expressions. They're master teachers who have helped me embody the lesson and understand what it is to find my wings. And I do that when I trust and let go. I love each and every one of you, and I bless you. And I want you to know, when I look out, I see your wings. And I want you to stretch them and soar to new heights as you fly. Namaste.
What a beautiful lesson. Thank you. So feel free to let this music move you into our time of meditation. Oh, the water is wide, and I can't cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and carry me o'er, my love and I. Though the water is wide, I shall cross o'er, for I have found new wings to fly. Come take my hand, we will travel on till journey's end, my love and I.
So let's spend now a few moments going into the quiet space within during our meditation. And if you've not already done so now, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. Begin to remove your attention from the outer circumstances, the worldly constraints. Just let yourself be in this moment. Now take a nice deep breath and then let it go. invite you to relax your body. Just give yourself permission to breathe out any heaviness. Release any distractions. Let yourself settle into your feet. And feel the support that lifts you and carries you right now. And as you turn your attention even more deeply within, I invite you to focus on your heart center. Effortlessly, gently, softly, allow yourself to become attuned to the rhythm of your heart. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the chest as you breathe. The ever-present affirmation of life as Spirit moves you and inspires you. And as you draw a little bit more deeply into your heart center, I want you to find the place in your heart where freedom is. Maybe that freedom is a memory of when you felt truly alive. Maybe freedom is exhilaration, a feeling that you can tap into. But find that feeling within you and spend a moment or two breathing into that awareness. And as you feel that sheer weightlessness, that beautiful sense of freedom, I want you to notice, to imagine your heart lifting, opening, and stretching, and expanding like never before. And with this open heart, you feel the presence of love in you and through you and all around you, lifting your heart on wings of love. Surrender more deeply into that feeling of love as we rest in the silence for a moment. Love. Spirit's love for you is more powerful, more vast, more beautiful than anything you can imagine. It is beyond limits. It is unconditional. You are loved. And though your awareness of this love may shift, the truth will never change. Love is who you are. Love is what you are created to be. And throughout this week, and all the up and coming days, when you see the little birds, you'll remember that you too have wings crafted in love. Now slowly and gently bring your attention back into the room. Bring your awareness to your surroundings. Before you open your eyes, just send blessings out to the person next to you, the person in front of you. Send blessings to the people all around you. And then extend that to the trees and the flowers, the grass, and all the animals, all divine expressions of life everywhere. It's a beautiful world. Trust and let go. And as you're ready, in your own time, slowly open your eyes and behold the beautiful world.
Welcome back. So this song I wrote a few years ago, inspired by two amazing individuals. One is Malala Yousafzai. Most of you know her story, youngest person ever to receive a Nobel Peace Prize for the amazing courage she shows, lighting the way for young girls. And the other one is a story about a young man with Down syndrome named Tim, who is the first person with Down syndrome ever to own his own restaurant. If you haven't seen the YouTube video, look up Tim's Place, I think is the name of his restaurant. Down syndrome, it's just, he is adorable. So it's entitled, You Can Do Anything. You can do anything, you can make angels sing, you can do anything your little heart desires. You can do anything, just spread your wings, you can do anything, it's all inside of you. Once there was a little girl born in a land where girls were told you cannot, you shall not, you won't. But she dreamed of all she might do in education, her dreams come true, and she could not be stopped. The Taliban, they came after her. They warned her not to make a stir. But she said, God gave me this voice to speak. No matter what harm you bring, I can, I shall, I will. So Malala, she kept on talking. Bullets, guns, they could not stop her. She stood tall and proud. Now she goes all around the world and she tells all the little girls, you can, you shall, you will, 'cause you can do anything. God gave you a voice to speak. You can do anything your little heart desires. You can do anything. Just spread your wings. You can do anything. It's all inside of you. There once was a little boy born in New Mexico. He wasn't like the rest. The doctor said he'd be slow, best to keep your expectations low. But his parents said, I don't think so. They refused to give up hope as they watched their little Tim grow with big dreams of his own. Now Tim owns his own restaurant. His hugs are what the customers want, and they all hear him say, you can do anything. God gave you a mind to dream. You can do anything your little heart desires. You can do anything. Just spread your wings. You can do anything. It's all inside of you. Well, there are days I don't believe it's true. There are days I don't see how I will make it through. And then I think of Malala, and I remember little Tim. And if I get real quiet, I'll hear that little voice within. I can do anything. I can make angels sing. I can do anything my little heart desires. I can do anything. Just spread my wings. I can do anything. It's all inside of me. You can do anything. It's all inside of you.
Thank you, Cindy and Reverend Stephanie. And so as our ushers are coming forward, this is our time to hold the gifts in our hands and our community in our hearts as we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, I Release and I Let Go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And as our ushers come forward, here's our prayer of thanks as we listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for being here. And if you would like more information about the Unity Movement and Unity of Lawrence, please pick up a welcome packet in the lobby. And also, pick up one of our new, for the month of June, bulletins so you can see all that's coming ahead of us. Join us downstairs for our monthly potluck. There's plenty for everyone. Our weekly meditation group meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 in the sanctuary. Everyone is welcome. Phil is also offering an online meditation group on Tuesdays. And again, more information's in the foyer. Save the date. Oh, and also don't forget to come early and join us on Sunday mornings for a time of fellowship at 10:30 downstairs in our fellowship hall. Enjoy some fresh coffee treats and your Unity community. Save the date. Reverend Martha Creek is coming to Lawrence live. She's speaking on Sunday morning, June 12th, and holding a workshop that afternoon at 1 p.m. We are excited to have her here in person on June 12th. But first is next Saturday, June 4th, and it is the Lawrence Women's March at South Park. More information about that is in the lobby. Thank you to everyone who donated for our food drive with Just Food. We almost filled the barrel and are so grateful for everyone's generosity. Join us next Sunday when Sharon Dwyer, licensed Unity teacher, brings us the message, "May my memory be a blessing." Special music is with Millie Webb. And now it's not time to sing in our youth because we don't have any, but we are going to bless each other. So congregation, if you would rub your hands together and hold them out to one another as we say, "We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you." And so it is. And now it's time for us to join as we rise and sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy as well. To take each moment and let each moment be eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we lower our wings, our prayer of protection, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go fly.